All right. Phil Weiser, former professor here at the law school, currently our attorney general in the state of Colorado. When he founded Silicon Flatirons, he asked himself in no small part, how does Dale Hatfield approach telecom and technology policy? And the answer to that, he baked into our DNA, and you see on stage today, as well as at other Silicon Flatirons conferences, that is, our approach is interdisciplinary, that these questions require economists, engineers, very importantly, lawyers, social scientists, and business people to be at the table. It also requires private sector voices, public interest voices, government voices, and academics to be at the table, and that is very much in the spirit of Dale. And Dale, this center embodies very much your legacy in terms of work in technology policy. Today, Dale and Pat Hatfield are launching another legacy. Dale and Pat are stage left. Pat, would you please wave? Dale, we're going to further embarrass you in a minute. Yeah, a round of applause for them. I see Stephen Hatfield, their son here. Is Doug here as well? And Doug up there, thank you for being here. It is my honor to announce that Dale and Pat Hatfield have given $2.5 million to CU Boulder to establish the Hatfield Endowed Professorship in Space Policy and Law. This new professorship will drive and support teaching and research on space policy and law across the CU Boulder campus. It will also support things like this, future conferences and events in this area. This work, as you know, has implications for national security, global communications, navigation, weather forecasting, and international collaboration. Befitting Dale's approach and conviction that making good policy requires collaboration across disciplines, they have made this professorship interdisciplinary. It will rotate every 2 years between the College of Engineering and Applied Science, the Leeds School of Business, and Silicon Flatirons in Colorado Law. Reflecting this cooperation, I'm delighted to be joined today by Professor Dan Zhang, who is a professor from the Leeds School of Business, and Mike Gusev, professor in the College of Engineering. First, Professor Zhang, thanks for being here.
Thank you, Brad. Today we celebrate not only the establishment of the Hatfield Professorship, but also a powerful moment of convergence, one where disciplines, ideas, and opportunities meet at the crossroads of a critical global frontier, space policy. Space policy today stands at a transformative crossroads. No longer the exclusive domain of governments or distant scientific endeavors, space is rapidly becoming a shared arena of technological innovation, commercial competition, geopolitical strategy, and international cooperation. The questions we now face, for example, about ownership, sustainability, security, ethics, and access demand more than one perspective. They require engineers, legal scholars, business leaders, and policymakers working together. This is precisely what the Hatfield Professorship is designed to support. By rotating among the College of Engineering and Applied Science, the School of Law, and Leeds School of Business, this professorship embodies the interdisciplinary collaboration needed to guide space policy forward. We're deeply grateful to Dale and Pat Hatfield, who supported this vision. Your generous support ensures that CU Boulder will be at the forefront of one of the most important frontiers of our time. Thank you.
I know I'm standing between you and lunch, so I'll do my best to be short, be brief. On behalf of the College of Engineering and Applied Science, I'm really delighted to express our excitement and support for this Hatfield Professorship. A point of pride that we've had for the past several decades in our college, assuming nobody from my other departments is here, is the success and excellence that we've had in our aerospace engineering sciences department. The department attracts top students from around the world, and they are all here to become the next leaders in the space industry. And teaching and mentoring those students is our world-class AES faculty. Space, however, is no longer accessible to just a few countries, just a few players, and perhaps our successful history of training the next leaders in accessing space have, to some extent, generated the need for space policy and law. With this professorship, CU Boulder has the opportunity to be a global leader in developing fair and responsible approaches to space governance, and we're excited about that. I first met Dale a couple of years ago at an alumni event in Denver, and I had carpooled there with our dean, Keith Molinar, who's out of the country and couldn't be here. And he said, "Oh, who did you meet?" I said, "Oh, well, I met Dale." He said, "Oh, Dale has this really interesting idea. He's been talking to me about space law and policy." And I was struck by that. I just remember thinking I had never heard of something along that line before. And so it's particularly gratifying to me to see this come to fruition after a brief conversation a couple years ago in Denver, in a car, no less. I know of no other institution that's taking on this important challenge, and this professorship is a step toward complementing our expertise and reputation in space education and research to contribute to pioneering this new concept and directions in space policy and law. Finally, I note that this partnership among the law school, the Leeds School of Business, and our engineering college is really emblematic of the collaboration required to forge progress in this new frontier. If I'm not mistaken, this is actually the first of the rotating endowed professorship on campus that Brad described. Given that it's going to rotate to a new faculty member every couple of years. Now, what's powerful about that is that the next person gets to build on the success, the thought advances of the previous holder of the professorship. So this is really exciting, and we look forward to the promulgation of an evolution of thought and contribution from these different thought leaders through time. We look forward to complementing our cutting-edge advances in space research and education with a new shared strength in space policy and law. And nobody has said it yet, but the inaugural faculty member will be Marcus Holzinger from our AES department in engineering. And Marcus is also out of the country, unfortunately. But Marcus will be a perfect, I think, first person to hold this and set a new trajectory with this opportunity. So lastly, I just want to thank Dale and Pat for your vision and for your generosity. Thank you so much.
Thanks to Dan and Mike. Before we bring Dale up front and thank him and Pat directly, we would welcome it if there is additional support for this professorship to increase its muscle, increase its capacity to do work across campus, in addition to supporting the individual, which will rotate across the schools. This support will enable more work along these lines, whether it's here at Silicon Flatirons, at the Space Policy Center, or other locations on campus. There's a QR code. If you want to get behind this, your contribution would be most welcome. Finally, it is really my honor to introduce the funders of the Hatfield Endowed Professorship in Space Policy and Law. Please help me give a warm and grateful welcome to Dale Hatfield and Pat Hatfield.
Thank you so much, Brad, and everybody else here. I feel like I'm in a bit of a dream. I look out here at so many people that I've worked with over the years, and it just causes me to choke up, basically. I know I'm standing between you and lunch, so I'll just basically summarize that Pat and I do have that strong belief in interdisciplinary activities. It's a way to solve problems, and an expansive definition of that interdisciplinary, includes diversity in all its dimensions. I have a strong belief in the opportunities presented by space, but if anything, the first two panels this morning sure introduced us to some of the challenges that we face. And hopefully, my wife and my family were humbled by the opportunity to make contributions for the future of the students and the faculty and research here at the University of Colorado at Boulder, so we can make progress on some of these problems for future generations. So thank you very, very much.